Mike Anderson here at Reno Fly Shop doing another tying video for you. This one is the Chubby Chernobyl. Great grasshopper pattern, great fly to float some nymphs with a hopper dropper setup, and I'm going to show you how to tie it today. First thing is a fire hole 7/18, size 8. That's the hook we're going to use. We're also going to use 140 denier. 140 denier is a little bit thicker. It's going to keep us from cutting that foam and give us a little bit more power to kind of wrench down on that foam when we need to. First thing we're going to do is add a little bit of UV Calabatus ice dub. Okay, we're going to do that right on the back here, just a little bit down the bend. This is going to give us a little bit of a bump, which is going to hold our foam up just a little bit. We're going to cut the foam to about 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit over 1/4 inch in width. And really what I'm looking for is for that foam to be right around the same length as the gap there. Okay, I'm going to let that thread unwind just a little bit, and I'm going to position the foam on the hook so that I have a good amount hanging off, probably 1/4 inch, maybe a little more hanging off. And this is where it gets a little tricky, okay? This is where you can cut your foam. So my first wrap doesn't have a ton of tension. I'm just kind of setting it in. My second one increases. My third one increases. My fourth wrap gets a little stronger. And then my fifth one just kind of locks it all in place there. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is take 3 strands of crystal flash. This is just the pearl crystal flash. Cut 3 strands off. I will cut this in half. And then cut it in half again. And that's going to give me 2 pieces of crystal flash. Okay, take one, put it aside, we'll need that later. I will then V-tie this crystal flash in by wrapping it around my thread in a V, and then taking my thread and placing that crystal flash right on top of the shank there. The next thing that we're going to use is parapost wing. That's going to give us the fluff, a little more floatability. Also looks like the wings of the grasshopper. So we're going to take 2 strands. We're going to line up the tips and then cut it in half. And then cut it in half one more time. A little extra bit there that I just cut off. And again, save half of it for later. I'm going to do the same technique where I wrap the material around the thread. We call this a V-tie. And then I will put that right on top of that crystal flash there. The next material is a barred, grizzly barred medium rubber leg. It's round. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here, cut it right off, and you guessed it, half it, cut it, half it, cut it. That's going to give me 4 legs there. And again, you guessed it, we'll V-tie these in, wrapping it around the thread. We're going to put this one on your side first. Do another wrap and get in between them again. Take another set. And this will go on my side. Perfect. More Callibatus UV eye stub. Okay, I'm going to do about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of that. Then I'm going to add a little section of shrimp pink. Orange is also a very natural color in the insect world. Salmon flies will have orange. Some of the adult golden stoneflies will have them. So orange is always a good color to incorporate into a fly. And then I will bookend that with a little bit more of that Callibatus. So I'm just creating a little bit of an orange hotspot. Before I move forward, we're going to do a little super glue right on the foam in our wraps back here. Just trying to lock everything in a little bit. Pull everything back, and we're going to start making our dubbing. Oops. I want a pretty thick body here. So don't be afraid to take your time, kind of slow down, really make sure that that ice dub is covering the hook shank well. I'm going to stop about 2 eyelays back, undo my thread by spinning it counterclockwise. 1, a little harder, pretty hard, lock it in. Take our scissors and cut off the tip. That's going to give us our size of our fly. And then we repeat. Whoa, that's not good. Crystal flash. Parapost. Two sets of legs. Spin my thread clockwise. We do just a touch more of that Callibatus dubbing. That's going to be a little too much. Lift everything up. Get a couple squeaks in here. That's going to prop the head up a bit. And then whip finish. I like to take a little dog broom and kind of fluff out our parapost. That way it'll trap a little more air. And then give it a nice little haircut if it's a little longer in the back or the front. But I want a pretty poofy fly. And if you really want to get into it, you can round off the edges of the foam a bit. I usually don't do that too much, but sometimes it just makes the fly look a little nicer. Okay? So, thank you for watching. You can get this tying kit on renoflyshop.com. All of the materials for this fly are also on our website at renoflyshop.com. So definitely a great bug to check out during the summer. Once the hoppers get out, it'll float a lot of weight, so you can put a 14 with like a 2.5 millimeter bead on it. 3 might be pushing it, but give it a shot. And then it's a great fly for that shallow maybe fast moving water, or a moving section that has a little bit of depth that might be a little hard to indicate a Euro nymph, that's usually where I will go to the dry dropper. So definitely tie this one up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next month.